Good morning, pregame crew. It is Wednesday, October 11th, 2023, 6:20 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:20 a.m. Eastern Time. Good morning. Welcome to the show. We have PPI in 9 minutes. 9 minutes PPI. We have FOMC meeting minutes today. We have a slew of FOMC speakers today. Pretty busy day. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. Hey, Shake and Bake, Tom, Hector, Greg, Night Truck, Sir Fernando, William, Marvin, hey Mal, Cliff, Paul White, that he must have really hated his allergies. Hey Gino, Matthew, BLQ, Ray, Mary, Chris, Scott, Simpre, garlic, fermented, and honey. Well, my son has bad allergies. My dad has bad allergies, so I got it from my dad, and my son obviously got it from me. And my ex-husband said, I should have checked your medical file before I had a child with you because you gave our child these bad allergies. And I told him he was 5'8". I'm 5'10", and I said, well, when he gets over 6 foot tall, you'll be thanking me for those genes. And I appreciate and I expect a thank you note once he reaches 6 foot. Well, my son's 6'2", and I still haven't gotten the thank you note. But I gave my son allergies, but I also gave him height. So there, stick it. This is a show about charting and technical analysis. I try not to get off topic too much, but this is the chit chat portion of the show. So I am doing it. Oh, Ian, no COVID. Okay, let's go back up to the top. I saw a chart request. Good morning. You want to hear about dominoes? Dominoes. I love to play dominoes. Anybody play dominoes here? That was something my parents played a lot of when I was growing up with my grandparents and uncles. Monthly high or low is anticipated. Weekly downtrend. Daily downtrend getting a bounce. Daily lower high anticipated. 4-hour lower high anticipated. I would wait for the hourly chart to get overbought for a potential top fish. Got a little inverse head and shoulders starting to form here on the daily chart on RSI. Daily lower high anticipated. I'd be a much more comfortable bear up here than a bull, depending on what the market's doing, of course. Blackberry. Dumpster fire. Monthly got smacked by the 26 EMA. Daily oversold. Doesn't matter if it's news related. It can still go lower. Had a mild day yesterday while the market was screaming. This is a super bearish chart. We give out no awards, Oscars, gold stars, our trophies for nailing bottoms. And you would be bottom picking to buy this one down here. Okay, good morning. Hello. Hey Sam, welcome back. PLTR's had a wonderful couple days. Daily uptrend, weekly uptrend. We're below yesterday's high, but this one, it did have some consolidation midday that the market did not have. PLTR had, but PLTR was screaming with his hair on fire over here. So the fact that it took a little breather yesterday is acceptable. You don't want to see it lose the hourly EMAs, potential 4-hour bull flag. And hungry hippo bulls are waiting for a pullback buy. I would wait for a pullback to buy this. You heard that yawn? Sorry. AI, yeah, a lot of us took that long with Dan. Day before yesterday, daily 200 MA overhead. Bulls still have a lot of work to do. 4-hour is overbought in a weekly downtrend. We're definitely in reverse back burner mode. We are gapping up. If bulls are able to hold and defend the gap at $27, it could be a long signal. I would not be taking it long up here. I'd be waiting for a pullback buy. And there are plenty of other charts to go pick on. This is picking on the biggest bully on the playground at the moment if you were trying to short this. You haven't seen a domino in 50 years? Oh gosh, I love dominoes. I grew up in the deep, deep South in the woods. We didn't drink. We just drank coffee at night, and my parents and the adults would just sit around playing dominoes, and we would watch them. We had nothing else to do. I love dominoes. My mom could block a game. She is so good at dominoes. That's what I need to bring next time I go to Louisiana, is bring dominoes to play with my mom and dad. And they would talk across the table. They would tap the table and they would get in trouble. They were trying to signal to their partner that what they had. It was fun. Okay, we have PPI in 3 minutes. Hey, George, I just went over AI. It looks great. It's gapping up. If bulls defend the gap, I would stay in long as $27 holds. If we break $27, that means bears may be getting a foothold. You have daily 200 MA overhead. They did, Simpre, they did call it playing bones. They sure did. Poached bunnies in your free time. Battleships, that was a fancy game. We had a foster kid that came in. My grandparents kept over 300 foster children in the 40 years that they kept foster children, and we had a foster child come in with Battleships game. We thought that was the coolest thing ever. We didn't have that. All right, PPI. Y'all see all these charts? I look at all these every single day. I look at every single one of them to bring to you what I think is some of the better setups. Do they work every day? No. But they do work more often than not. So I do my homework for y'all. ES is strong. We're holding the hourly EMAs. We're holding the 4-hour EMAs, potential 4-hour bull flag. I wanted to show y'all what I do in commodities every day. I'm going to do it real quick. So in commodities, I run down dollar, gold, oil, nat gas, copper, and silver every day. And what I do is I copy and paste this from the prior day, and then I change whatever's different. Do y'all know how few times I actually change the top 3, weekly, monthly, daily? They stay pretty fixed for a long time, meaning trends usually stay around for a while. So right now, the market is up. And our RSI is at 50.6 on the daily. We have plenty of runway for more movement to the upside. Yes, the 4-hour is slightly extended. Yes, the hourly is extended, but that doesn't mean we can't keep running. So trying to time tops on these is just not advised. And overall, we're looking more bullish than bearish. PPI coming out here. Your resistance is the high 4419. Your next level 443925. And your support is 4388. 4388. 4-hour EMAs have been guiding up price since last Friday. Bullish until that's taken out. Okay, we're getting a bearish reaction right now to PPI. Let's see what it was. PPI 0.5%. 0.5%, and they were expecting 0.3. We have Fed Waller speaking this morning. We have oil inventory today. We have Bostic speaking, and we have meeting minutes. So something to remember, we have FOMC meeting minutes. Usually that does not rock the market. It is not the same as interest rate decisions from FOMC. The minutes are just a recap of the meeting we had a few weeks ago. So I don't expect a ton of volatility unless there are some surprise word choices in there. Otherwise, it should be a nothing burger. Buenos dias, Jungle Cat. 1 second. All right, let's get this show on the road. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I'm part of Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, that would be lovely, at Chart Gal Lori. And I have a fun interview coming up. I can't wait. I'm going to talk to Jared Tendler again, the man who wrote The Mental Game of Trading, one of my favorite books. That and Biggest Loser Wins, or Best Loser Wins, and that is from Tom Hogarth. Those two authors and books are my favorite trading books, and I'm going to get to talk to Jared again. Hopefully this time I'm not so starstruck. So what I do here every morning, oh yeah, hit the like button, is I go over the economic calendar. I show you my table and how I'm forming my thesis on the day, and overall I'm looking more bullish than bearish. And I have my notes off screen that I copy and paste for TCG members when I am done. All right, 4,400. We're up here teetering on 4,400 psychological resistance. We've gotten over it overnight. 4-hour higher low anticipated. 436625 is your next support below 4388. We are skirting up here, skirt at 68 RSI on the 4-hour. Daily, like I said, we have plenty of room. I'm going to try to use this epic pen. We have plenty of room left on RSI to get up to 70. NASDAQ, we're here at the daily 50 MA at 15,310. This will be a key level in my opinion. And let's look at QQQ. I want to show you what happened yesterday. I was live when we were testing this 37131 right here, and we couldn't get through it. We hit 37128. So we double topped with the September 20th high by 2 pennies. We double topped, all right? Then what happened at the same exact time is the dollar held this support, 105,658. Now overnight we broke it. So overnight we broke the daily support. We hit 105,614. We lost it by 4 pennies and bounced. I'm calling that a daily double bottom for now. So yesterday, that was the key confluence. QQQ hitting 37128, dollar hitting daily support, and that marked the top of the market temporarily yesterday. So those are our key levels moving forward. And also we have a gap to make note of on SPY right here at 43843, the gap from September 20th. And I was looking for a movement into that gap. We didn't quite make it. QQQ stopped everything in its tracks at 37128. So we do have that gap to be aware of. Not all gaps have to be filled. It's just something I like to make a mental note of. And we are here at the NASDAQ 50 MA. NASDAQ's been maintaining the hourly EMAs with no problem whatsoever. Not even... It's like it's doing it with one hand behind its back. It's been so bullish. Lots of buying. Now, we have headline risk with Israel and the conflict, so we could have headlines come out and rock the market. And of course, we have a lot of FOMC speak today as well. All right, XLF I think is going to be key for the market. We're looking for a daily lower high compared to 33.69. Do you see it right here? Where is it? I never find what I'm looking for on the first try. 33.69. We're looking for a daily lower high compared to that level. I think this will be key today, is how XLF behaves will be key. We have bank earnings at the end of this week. And if I were a bank bull who just got this bounce, I'd look to sell before earnings. So we have JPM right here, and they have earnings Friday. They have earnings Friday, and we're looking for a daily lower high compared to 14778. I like a top fish of JPM today as potential short against 14677. Y'all see it? So we're looking for a lower high compared to yesterday and a daily lower high. So I like a JPM top fish today. It's one of my Queen of the Mountain trades. Let's get back to the indices. I'm going to look at IWM, the ETF, on the daily. Do y'all see this? This looks like an inverse head and shoulders forming. And on the dollar, we could be forming a head and shoulders, which is bearish. So if this is going to be our formation, that gives IWM potential inverse head and shoulders a little more validity. So this is what I'm looking for on IWM. Let's look at it on RTY. And the market's bouncing and has fully recovered from the PPI reaction. So on RTY, you can see it here as well. And this would mark a temporary bottom on RTY if we were to achieve this. Let's look at NASDAQ on the weekly. When we get these tiny little bear breaks here, you see that tiny bear break without follow through, it makes us go zoom out and look at the higher time frame chart. When we get tiny bear breaks without follow through, we zoom out and look for a bull flag on a higher time frame. And the same thing is true for bear flags. We just do the inverse. If we have bull breaks without follow through, it makes us zoom out and look for bear flags on a higher time frame. Y'all, this is a bull flag every day that ends in Y. I could print that and put it in the Investopedia. No, I wouldn't put it in Investopedia because we had elevated bear volume. That's not ideal. And I typically want to see longer, lower wicks of bulls buying the dip, but still, that is a bull flag formation on the monthly on NASDAQ. So when we see these weekly bear breaks without follow through, it makes us zoom out and say, hey, is there a bull flag on a higher time frame? ES got a little more follow through, but it still could be a monthly bull flag. All right. And that lines up, all of that fits together nicely with a potential Russell daily inverse head and shoulders shaping up. The Dow, we're here teetering on 34,000 psychological level. And here we could be getting a little inverse head and shoulders as well on the 12-hour. Not as clear as the Russell. So 34127 is your next resistance. 34127. VIX has been melting, absolutely melting. How many times have I drawn this weekly resistance for y'all? Let's do it another time for good measure. It would not shock me at all if Friday we close below this resistance line, just like we did the last 2 weeks. The weekly 50 MA is overhead and fear is exiting stage right just as fast as it came on the scene. It's leaving. We are melting. Hang Seng was up 1.29 overnight. DAX was up 0.33%. And if you're learning anything, or even if you're not learning anything and you're just enjoying being here, if you could hit that like button, I'd greatly appreciate it. And thank y'all, by the way, for all the electrolyte suggestions. I wrote them down and I've ordered some of them to try. So thank you so much. Hey, Bennett. NVDA, I am looking for a potential top fish setup. Interesting, Ona. Oh, oil's tomorrow. So API estimates today at 4:30 Eastern and oil tomorrow. Thank you, Gino. God, smart people in here. Thanks for keeping me straight. Bitcoin, we've lost the daily uptrend. To me, Bitcoin is standing out like a sore thumb. Y'all look at it. It's one of the few things that's bearish on my table here. Is Bitcoin trying to signal to us that we've got more incoming consolidation? We've got a daily downtrend, we got a daily lower low, we got a 4-hour lower low, and we got an hourly. Well, hourly we got a higher low, but we're running into the EMA's overhead. Dollar's getting its bounce from the daily support. And gold is pulling back on that dollar bounce. Gold may be setting this daily lower high here. Let's see. I think it'd be prudent to top fish a 15-minute lower high on gold with this dollar bounce from support. Oil is weak. Where were you yesterday, oil, when I was shorting XLE? 84.87 is your next support, and then we're looking down at potential gap fill at 82.90. Not all gaps have to be filled, but it would make a lot of sense. Let me see where the gap is. 83.28, my bad. Right here. Okay. Oil is weak. Daily lower high is set. Let's go look at XLE again. XLE is weak. We have XOM that's buying PXD. So XOM is pulling back pretty hard. Usually the purchasing company experiences some downside movement because they're doing the outlay of expense What are they buying PXD for? $253 a share. So their outlay of income or revenue, whatever, I can't talk this morning, is really weighing on XOM. Oil is weak, and I think XLE could be a good short again today. It didn't work Monday, it didn't work yesterday, and I have very small losses from it. So we'll see if it works today. All right, so oil is looking pretty weak. Daily lower high most likely set. Nat gas. See these daily upper wicks, bears selling into this move up. I don't think this move is done. I think it still has some left in the tank, but it could pull back to 322, the 8 EMA on the daily, and still be healthy. All right, Apple. Apple's at the daily 50 EMA. Let me put horizontal ray right there. Daily 50 MA. Y'all know how much respect I have for the daily 50 MA. We are right there. Apple could be a short today. We are getting some weakness coming in right here. Odds favor a weekly lower high. You have your resistance right here, 179.70. You double topped at that level yesterday with the 50 MA overhead. I am bearish Apple today. Amazon, let me look at my notes. What did I write? Daily higher high. Hourly is grinding 8 EMA. It's a little bit stronger than Apple this morning. I don't have a setup on Amazon. Nvidia is a potential top fish setup. It did get an upgrade overnight. TD Cowen raises the target price. Oh, that was Bloomberg's misspell. Dang it, to $700 from $600. So it did get a big upgrade. So today may not be the short that I'm looking for on NVDA, looking for the weekly lower high with this potential head and shoulder setup. This is frustrating. I really wanted this setup. But this upgrade is really is a fly in the ointment on this setup. Tesla. Tesla is green this morning. Daily 4-hour and hourly uptrends. Weekly EQ. There's nothing bearish about this chart. I'm really frustrated about NVDA. I'm stuck on it in my head. Move on, move on. JPM, looking for a weekly and daily lower high. They have earnings on Friday. So I'm looking at a top fish against yesterday's high. Okay, this is an interesting setup. My friend Jules, she is my trading friend and my mentor. She helped me learn options and I love her to pieces. She told me she really loves this name. Her sister works in radiology and tells her about medical names that are pretty strong. And she likes this name fundamentally. Well, I like this name technically. Y'all see this squeeze here? And we have this tightening range that we broke bull from yesterday. We didn't get a lot of follow through. I like a pullback buy on NARI for a long, and Qualcomm has a similar setup. Y'all see this tightening pattern? We're running into the daily 50 MA. I don't know if it's gonna have to pull back one more time and then take a run and leap over the 50 MA, but I like the squeeze that's developing on Qualcomm right here. I like the squeeze. And I love the squeeze on NARI. Netflix is a potential top fish setup. Man, we couldn't even I wanted to push up into 380.19, a 15-minute resistance from yesterday right here for a potential short setup on Netflix right in this area. It's so weak, it can't even bounce up into that. So Netflix, I'm looking for a top fish. TAN, back burner setup. Dan pointed out the volume on this one this morning. He said, look at yesterday's volume, and it was a monster. So I like first 5-minute oversold on TAN. Let's go set our alert. Tell me when. RSI gets to 30 on the 5-minute. Walmart, fall apart. I like it for a top fish. How awesome was this setup back here when I took the short? It was awesome. So now it's bouncing. I'm looking for a daily lower high. We have the 50 MA overhead, EMA's overhead. So I'm looking for a top fish setup. Dang it. Against 159.30. It's already over yesterday's high. So I needed to get back below yesterday's high, 158.08, and then I'd put my stop above the high of day for a potential top fish. So JPM, Netflix, Walmart are top fish setups. NARI, and Qualcomm are potential long setups for swings, and TAN is a back burner trade. I wouldn't call it an inverse head and shoulders. I don't think it's that well defined, but I do like that daily pattern a lot. All right. Yep, we do this every morning. All right, I'm going to copy my notes over to TCG members, and I'm going to call it a day right here, right now. There are 270 of y'all, only 123 likes. If you could hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. And give me a follow on Twitter at CharkOwlLori. All right, y'all use stop losses.